There's a problem with being the dependable one. Nobody notices what you do, they only notice when you stop. I am the person in my family who keeps things running. I don't mean that in a braggy way. I mean it the way you'd describe a load-bearing wall. Not pretty, not interesting, just the thing that's holding everything up. Every holiday, every birthday dinner, every graduation party, I'm the one who books the venue, texts the group chat 17 times, drives 40 minutes to pick up the cake because my brother forgot, and still shows up with a smile like it cost me nothing. My mother has always taken this for granted, not cruelly, at least not at first. The way you take for granted that the lights come on when you flip the switch. You don't think about what it took to wire the whole house, you just expect it to work. Her name is Linda. Not Aunt Linda, just Linda. That's how she introduced herself to my college roommate one weekend. I'm Linda, her mother. And something about the way she said it, like she was clarifying something, not introducing someone, always stuck with me. Linda is 61, retired from a school district job she held for 23 years, has her hair done every Thursday, and has never once, in my entire memory, organized a family event from scratch. That was always my job. My grandmother started it. She was the original keeper of the family. The one who held Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and every Sunday that mattered. When she got sick 8 years ago and couldn't do it anymore, everyone looked around the table and somehow the job landed on me. I was 24, I didn't volunteer. It just happened the way things happen in families, quietly and without a vote, so I took it on. I found it satisfying actually for a long time. I liked planning things, I liked the logistics. I liked calling my grandmother on the phone the night before Christmas to read her the menu, hearing her say, "Oh sweetheart, that sounds perfect." That was enough for me for years. Then my grandmother passed, and after that it wasn't enough anymore. But I kept doing it anyway because, I don't know. Because I thought that's what love looked like, because stopping felt like abandoning something she'd handed me. My family has a group chat called Fam that I created in 2019. I am the only one who sends anything in it, literally. I'll send a reminder about a birthday dinner and get 3 thumbs up reacts and nothing else. I organize the gift pools, Venmo me by Thursday, and I chase people down for the money. I RSVP on behalf of everyone. I am the family social secretary and nobody elected me and nobody pays me, and until last year nobody even really thanked me. My brother Troy, and I love him I do, is 34 and acts like family logistics are a form of magic. Things happen because someone made them happen, Troy, not because the universe decided it was Christmas. His wife is nice but is not a planner either, so that's not a resource. My mother would occasionally say, "You're so good at all of this," in a tone that somehow made it feel like she was complimenting a piece of furniture for holding her things. Last Thanksgiving, I drove 45 minutes each way to pick up my aunt from the airport because my brother said he would do it, and then texted me at 11 p.m. the night before, "Sorry, something came up." I did it without complaining. I picked up my aunt, I made the stuffing from scratch, I handled the turkey brine starting at 5 in the morning, I set the table, I bought the centerpiece. I organized the seating because my mother likes to be seated facing the window, and my uncle doesn't like sitting next to his ex-wife who was also there. I did all of that. My mother's contribution was the rolls, store-bought rolls. At the end of the night she stood at the door saying goodbye to everyone, and one of our cousins said, "Linda, you always throw the best holidays." And my mother smiled and said, "I just love bringing everyone together." I was standing right there, washing dishes. I told myself it was fine. I told myself I did it for the family, not for the credit. I told myself my grandmother would be proud of me. I went home that night and cried in the shower for about 15 minutes, and then I washed my face and went to bed and didn't say a word to anyone. This year's Christmas started the same way. In October I sent the first message in Fam. "Hey everyone, starting to plan for Christmas, who's coming, what dates work?" 3 thumbs up. 1 heart. My brother sent a gif of a dancing Santa, which I think was his way of saying yes. I started the spreadsheet in November. Guest list, dish assignments, schedule, grocery runs, who was sleeping where because some people were coming from out of town. I booked the airport pickup for my cousin and her fiancé. I started collecting money for the gift exchange, $40 per person this year, same as last year. I texted my mother 3 times to ask if she wanted to do the usual Christmas Eve dinner at her house or something different. She didn't respond until the 3rd text, and when she did, she just said, "Same as always, I guess." Cool. Super collaborative, really a team effort. In early December, my brother told me his wife's family was doing a big thing this year, and they'd probably be going there instead of coming to ours. Fine. Disappointing, but fine. I updated the spreadsheet. Then, 11 days before Christmas, my mother called me. It was a Tuesday. I was on my lunch break eating a sandwich over my kitchen sink because I hadn't had time to sit down. I answered the phone thinking it was something about the ham. She'd been mentioning the ham, she wanted a spiral cut, and instead what she said was, "I talked to your uncle and some of the cousins. We're going to do Christmas a little differently this year, just keep it to immediate family, smaller, less stressful, so you don't need to come." I stood there. What? It's just going to be a smaller thing this year, she said. Her voice was bright and casual, like she was telling me the weather. Your uncle thinks the big gatherings get to be too much, and honestly I agree, so we're just keeping it to a few people. I'm your daughter. A little pause. You know what I mean. We just need a simpler year. I didn't say anything for a second. I was calculating something. Not emotionally, mathematically. The airport pickup for my cousin. The gift exchange money I was holding. The grocery order I'd already partly placed. The ham I'd put a deposit on at the butcher because my mother had specifically asked for a specific brand that sells out. Okay, I said. You're not upset? I said okay. Well, good. I didn't want it to be a big thing. There was another pause and then she said, and I want you to understand that this actually happened, that I did not make this up. Oh, and can you still send the reminder in the group chat about the schedule and everything? And I think your cousin's flight gets in on the 23rd, can you coordinate that pickup? I held the phone away from my face for a second and looked at it like it was a foreign object. Then I said, Mom, you just told me I'm not coming to Christmas. Right, but so you don't need me to do anything. Silence. The group chat updates, the airport pickup, the gift exchange, all of that is just something I've been doing as part of being there. If I'm not there, none of that exists. Her voice got a little cooler. I just thought since you already, I'll send the gift exchange money back to everyone, I said. And I'll cancel the ham order. I'll let you know. The ham order. The spiral cut from the butcher you asked for. I put a deposit down. A longer silence. I didn't know you'd already done all that. I know, I said. I'll cancel it. And I hung up. I want to be clear that I was shaking a little when I hung up. Not from anger, or not only from anger. More from the adrenaline of having said something out loud that I'd never said before. I'd always been the one who absorbed things quietly. My grandmother used to call me her still water. You don't know how deep it is until you step in. I sat back down at my kitchen table, sandwich forgotten, and I thought about what I actually wanted to do here. I could have let it go. Cancelled the ham, Venmo'd everyone back, spent Christmas at home watching movies, moved on. Swallowed it like I'd swallowed everything else. But I thought about last Thanksgiving. About the roles. About I just love bringing everyone together. About standing at the sink. I picked up my phone and I started making calls. First, I cancelled the ham. The butcher was gracious about it, kept my deposit but said that was fine. Second, I went into my phone and transferred all the gift exchange money back to everyone. Just reversed every Venmo, no explanation, just sent it back. Third, I sent a message in FAM. Not a reminder about the schedule, not a grocery list. Just this, hi everyone, I won't be coordinating Christmas this year. All previous airport pickups, gift exchange, venue setup are cancelled or returned. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday. Then I put my phone face down and finished my sandwich. I will tell you that the responses started coming in within 4 minutes. My cousin, the one I'd arranged the airport pickup for, called me. I let it go to voicemail. She said, hey, what does this mean? Like, is someone else getting us? Who do I contact for the schedule? I texted back, not sure, your grandmother should be able to help. My grandmother, in this case being my mother. My uncle texted, did something happen? I didn't answer. My aunt, my mother's sister who lives 3 hours away, called and I did pick that one up because I like her and she's always been real with me. Baby, she said, what's going on? I told her. All of it. The phone call, what my mother said, the ask about the group chat and the airport pickup 2 minutes later. I told her about Thanksgiving, about the roles, about years of this. My aunt was quiet for a moment and then she said, your mother didn't tell me she uninvited you. She told you it was smaller this year. She said you weren't coming because you had other plans. I laughed. It came out a little ragged. Nope. Oh, honey, I just want to have a Christmas where I'm a guest, I said, not crew. My aunt said, then come here, we're having a small thing. Just me and your uncle and your cousins, it won't be fancy but it'll be real. I said yes before she finished the sentence. What happened at my mother's Christmas I heard about in pieces. The ham situation became a whole thing because my mother didn't realize I'd also been coordinating with the grocery delivery service, and when she tried to place the order herself 2 days before Christmas, the spiral cut she wanted was sold out everywhere in a 40-mile radius. My uncle, who'd apparently championed the smaller, simpler gathering, did not step up to fill in any of the coordination gaps. Nobody sent the gift exchange reminder. Nobody remembered to tell my cousin's fiancé that parking on that street requires a permit. Nobody made the playlist that usually runs in the background. I know this because my cousin texted me on Christmas Eve. Okay, I understand now. I'm sorry. That was it. 5 words. But I understood what they meant. I was, at that moment, sitting in my aunt's living room 3 hours away, in a pair of socks with reindeer on them, that my younger cousin had given me as a joke gift, eating cheese and crackers off a cutting board that was our appetizer because nobody felt like being fancy, watching a Christmas movie we'd all already seen. My aunt had made a lasagna because she said, "It's what I wanted to make," and we ate it at 7:30 when it was actually done instead of at 4:30 when it was supposed to be done, and nobody was upset about it. And it was the most relaxed I'd felt at a holiday meal in years. My phone rang at 9. It was my mother. I let it ring. Then I texted her, "I'm celebrating with Aunt Carol this year, hope you had a nice day." She called again. I didn't answer. The next morning she called again and this time I picked up. She was, I won't say upset exactly, more like a person who has miscalculated something significant and is trying to figure out the right face to make about it. She said she'd hoped I would have come anyway, that she hadn't meant it the way it came out, that it had been kind of chaotic without the usual setup. I let her talk. Then I said, "Mom, I need you to understand something. I've been coordinating Christmas for 8 years. I've never asked for anything except to be included. When you told me I wasn't needed, I believed you. Because if I'm not needed to be there as a family member, then I'm definitely not needed to do the labor. I know you didn't mean it badly. But I need you to know what it felt like. And I need you to know that I'm not going to keep organizing things if the arrangement is that I'm the help and not the family." A long pause. "I don't think of you as the help, I know," I said. "That's why this was so surprising to you." She didn't say much after that. The conversation ended quietly. Not in a fight, not in a reconciliation. Just sort of, in a truce that hasn't been fully defined yet. I don't know what Christmas looks like for us next year. I don't know if she understands what I was trying to tell her, or if she heard it. I know that she called me twice in January, which is more than she'd called me in the previous 3 months, combined. I know that my cousin, the one I'd organized the airport pickup for, sent me a long message saying she'd never noticed how much I did until it wasn't there, and that she was sorry, and that she'd like to actually have a real relationship with me if I was open to it. I said I was. I know that my aunt texted me a week after Christmas. "You were radiant this year. I don't know if you noticed. But you were?" I hadn't noticed, but I thought about it for a long time after. There's a particular kind of exhaustion that comes from being needed but not wanted. From being valued for your function, not your presence. I spent 8 years being the person who made Christmas happen, and it took being uninvited to figure out that I didn't actually want the job. I wanted to belong to the thing. Those aren't the same. I'm still in fam. I haven't left the group chat. But I haven't sent a reminder in it since December. Nobody else has either. The last message is still mine, from 8 months ago. "Hi everyone. I won't be coordinating Christmas this year." Nobody deleted it, nobody responded, it's just sitting there. And honestly, that tells me everything I need to know.